Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And in today's video, we are going to be continuing Naruto, Tale of Two Sages. What if Naruto was Louise's familiar? Part 10. As always, if you're new to the channel, or if you're a regular and you like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting that has to come out now and in the future. Where we last left off with our series, we capped off the end of Naruto vs. Pain. With a change of developments, Naruto was actually able to reach the heart of the Akatsuki duo of Pain and Konan. Now, with an alliance being formed, the two sides will now have to work together, not only to defeat the evil King Joseph, but also to figure out a way to heal Nagato and to be able to get them back home. All the while Naruto and Louise still continue on in their journey to get Naruto back as well, as he can't leave the world that he's currently in due to the familiar bond between both he and Louise. However, as their journeys now converge together and eventually will split apart, how will Naruto handle the ever-growing pressures as the time of his departure from this new world draws ever closer? And while he's been away, how has his home world been affected? For all this and more, stay tuned as we now continue Naruto, Tale of Two Sages. What if Naruto was Louise's familiar? Part 10. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. With the fight now over, and with Naruto now having been able to gain some control over himself, as the seal that nearly undone and unleashed the nine-tailed fox had been tightened thanks to the spirit of Minato, Naruto, along with Nagato, who was still controlling the Deva path, as well as Konan and Louise, would now have to discuss the ever-growing matter at hand, and that was dealing with King Joseph, along with his servant, Shayfield, from the land of Gallia. The reason why they had been summoned in the first place. If they were going to work on a way to somehow undo what had been done, they had to first learn what they were getting themselves into. Nagato would carefully reveal to them that it had actually been the work of King Joseph. The reason for Tabitha attacking them was because he was the one that had placed her mother into a state of madness, and it was because of him that her mother had been kept locked away in their country. The only way to save her was for the capture of Naruto and Louise. However, now that that wasn't going to be going to his plans, they were going to have to come up with something else to storm the country of Gallia, as well as defeating the king and finding a way to save Nagato, whose body, you could say, was being held captive in that area. For now, they would discuss the matter with Queen Henrietta. To say that the situation was complicated would be an understatement. She would then reveal to the group something that had been brewing for a while now. This actually had to do with Louise. You see, there was a prophecy of a great calamity that would one day befall this world, and that it would only be through those who possessed the power of void magic that would be the ones capable of saving this world from the darkness that was to fall upon it. So far, there were only 4 that were confirmed to be void magic users, that being Louise, Tilfiana, the Pope of Romolia, and finally, there was King Joseph himself. Of course, under normal circumstances, it would be hoped that all 4 could work together. But seeing as how King Joseph had his own schemes, that was something that was not going to be in the cards for them. But if that was the case, Why were they telling this to Naruto? Well, the answer became a lot more dire than one would like, but it was one that Nagato picked up on quickly. If he can't be a help, then he's a hindrance, am I right? I see. It seems as though things in this world may not be too different from our own after all. You misunderstand, Henrietta would say. It's not as though we want to take his life. That's honestly the last resort. But he's the one who's been antagonizing for the hostilities between multiple nations. He is the one that is pushing for war and chaos, simply because he wants to see what he can do. Of course, if there were any other option, we would take it. But it seems as though you have none. Naruto would look around. He didn't like the idea of just killing for killing's sake, but at the same time, if there was for a reason, then even he couldn't deny it. He had already shed blood in this world. He knew deep down he wasn't above being a killer. The battle with the army of 70,000 would tell you that. But even still, he had to be sure. Queen, Naruto would say. Yes, Naruto? It's just one life, right? One life, that's all. Well, yes. If the king could be persuaded, then that would work just as well. I see. Konan would chime in. All he needs to do is be persuaded. I think we might have a way of making it work. I had asked Nagato to use his Rinnegan on the various people of this world. They have a strange aura to them. It's not like that of chakra, but it's something entirely different. At least for those who are at least possessed by it. What do you mean? Naruto would ask. Nagato, please explain. Right. Naruto, you know the basics when it comes to using chakra. You could say that chakra is like a color. And I assume that from the few times you've been able to sense it, or maybe even see it for yourself, how would you describe that color? It's like a blue. Of course, I've seen a different color also. Whenever I use the Nine Tails chakra, it comes off as red. And when Sasuke, when he pulled on the power of the curse mark back then, it was faint, but it gave off a purple color. Exactly. Chakra takes many different colors. However, in this world, the aura that I see around that one, and even Her Highness, is a lot different. It comes off like the color of yellow. I have no real way of describing it. It looks like chakra, but it's not chakra. Do you get what I'm saying? Not really. I think if we can meet a middle ground when it comes to our abilities, I think that just might be a way for us to affect him. If we tried to use simple Genjutsu, I don't think it would be as effective. At the same time, if we use something based on this world's ability, it's likely that he would be able to see it coming. But if we had a mix of the two somehow... You think if we combined our powers, Louise would say, that we might be able to catch him off guard? Exactly. If we put him in a situation where he believes that he must do a certain action, then I think it could work in our favor. At the very least, no bloodshed would have to be formed, and you might be able to gain an ally. Does this work for you, Your Highness? Yes, if there's really a way that you can do so. Good. Now we just need to find a way quickly to the kingdom of Gallia. I think I have someone who can help with that. Please come in. The doors would open, as everyone turned to see who was stepping inside. Naruto seeing a familiar bald head and glasses. Mr. Colbert, you're alive! It's good to see you, Naruto. I know that the last time we saw one another it was under different circumstances, but we all thought you died in the fire. No, I managed to survive, but I've been keeping my distance. I've had some stuff that I've been working on recently, but it seems as though my skills have been called upon. So you need help getting back to the country of Gallia, is that right? Yeah, we're going to have a plan. A plan that we might think can help this country avoid any more unnecessary bloodshed. I see. Well then, I'll be happy to be your guide. But how exactly do you plan on getting in there? I have a way. Naruto and his clones will play a role. I see. But we're going to have to make it convincing. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but we're going to have to borrow your castle. Henrietta and everyone else would raise their eyebrows at this. Of course, they had no idea what was going to come, but if they were going to make this work, then this was going to have to be convincing. A messenger would arrive to the country of Gallia. He sped urgently throughout the streets before arriving to the castle, the guards halting him as he gave his pass and his notice. As they let him in, the messenger would make his way. King Joseph was sitting on his throne, along with his niece Tabitha by his side. My lord, message from the east. And what is it? It's from the country of Tristan. And it seems as though there has been a commotion. Half the kingdom, it's in ruin. What? There have been reports, multiple explosions. Half of the castle was blown away. There have been reports of casualties all across the countryside. I see. And do you know the meaning of this? It was reported that there was a man, a group of people in black cloaks that bore red clouds. They entered into a skirmish with the hero of the War of Albion. Interesting. Do tell, where is this individual? It's said that he was last seen on his way to our country, sir. He along with his companions, and it seems as though they have 3 hostages with them. Ah, splendid. Do go and make sure that things are ready. When they arrive to the gate, let them in. Yes, my lord. King Joseph, along with his assistant, Sheffield, would make his way to the private quarters, where there Nagato rested, still attached to the machine that gave him life. Well, it seems you've pushed yourself quite much, my friend. Do go and take care of that. Sheffield would move with a handkerchief to wipe off the blood from Nagato's mouth. It seems the battle was not easy for you. It wasn't. I didn't think I'd have to do so much damage. Oh, no need to worry. You've made things quite easy for me, actually. With no need to worry about that, the kingdom of Tristan will fall into my hands. And you will have your prize. Yes. But do you truly believe that you'll be able to get us back to our world? It's said that he cannot leave since he has the contract. Oh, no need to worry. That's why the girl is being brought along. I will use her as a conduit, as a way to open the door between the worlds itself. By doing so, you can just carry him on inside. No worry at all. I see. And do you think you'll be able to take him with the condition you're in? My injuries are nothing. It's nothing to worry about. I'm just glad that it's over. As am I, my friend. See to it that he is taken care of, as we wait for his friends to arrive. About 4 days later, the gates of the kingdom of Gallia would open. As the 6 paths of pain walked through the streets, Naruto, Louise, and the Queen were all slung over the paths of pain's shoulders, Conan flying over them as they made their way to the castle. Inside, Tabitha sat with her mother locked away. She knew that she was not going to be released. Even with the capture of Naruto and Louise, they were going to be executed. After all, they were still the last of the bloodline to the kingdom of Gallia's throne. If they were left alive, then that would call King Joseph's question into rule. After all, he was her uncle. The castle doors were opened, and as such, the 6 paths of pain went into the private quarters of King Joseph. As he sat on his throne, he watched as Queen Henrietta, Naruto, as well as Louise, were all thrown onto the ground. Excellent work. But of course, we've had these restraints placed on the Ninetales. He won't be able to use his abilities. That is most pleasant. We don't want anything going awry. Bring her to the circle. His guards would take Louise's body and lie her on the magic circle on the ground. We'll begin the ceremony at once. The moment that he's gone, I can mobilize my troops. And now that I have the Queen at my disposal, my demands will be met a lot easier. The kingdom of Albion had failed, but I have not. And now, everything is starting to come together. Sheffield would smile happily, seeing that her master's wishes were finally being fulfilled. As Joseph would move, making his way over to Louise to get to work on the ritual. Suddenly, the paths of pain, all except the Deva path, would transform into Naruto's, as they quickly took out the guards all around them. Sheffield, before she could even use any of her magic, would find a kunai placed to her throat, as Naruto was behind her. And what's the meaning of this? Louise would stand back on her feet, as well as the tied up Naruto. Queen Henrietta would transform into Naruto and undo his bindings. We came to an understanding, Your Highness, and now it seems the tables have been turned on you. What? Guards! Where are the guards? Oh, they won't be bothering us. And now we have time to talk. Time to talk. Before he even had a chance to finish, King Joseph looked around, seeing he was not where he thought he was, but rather, he found himself in a world of darkness, where he saw a little girl with blue hair and glasses. Tabitha. Why? Why did you kill my father? What? What's the meaning of this? As the king turned around, he saw a familiar man standing before him. You betrayed me, Joseph. I trusted you and you betrayed me. Brother, how do you live? I know you're dead. Because you killed me? Oh. About that. You can kill the body, but the soul cannot be destroyed. You know very well that what's done in the dark will come to the light, my brother. You have betrayed me. You have damaged my wife. and you threaten my daughter. All for your vain pursuit of power. What? I have not to explain myself to you or to anyone. But yet you still feel empty. Sheffield, you can help me out of this madness. Destroy him. I'm sorry, Your Highness. That I cannot do. You see, I can save you from anything, but divine punishment, that is something no one can escape. Divine punishment? I don't listen to the words of the gods. The only one that I listen to is myself. Then yet why are you filled with such fear? The king turned now as he saw only two eyes. Eyes that appeared to be that of multiple circles. They were eyes that seemed as though they pierced right into his soul. The eyes of the Renegon. Whatever magic you're using, it won't work on me. You have been a very busy man. You made one mistake. You believed that you were in the position of control, and your mouth has betrayed you. You told me that you feel nothing, that you cannot express your feeling in any other way but through destruction. But do you think that that's fair? Is it fair that others should suffer the evil that you cause? What is your point? If evil is truly what you wish to perform onto this world, I won't stop you. I have no right to. I have no claim. We're not going to harm you at all. But you will experience everything. Every evil, every torture that you've done to others or wish to do, you will experience now yourself. Of course, though, with the combined effort of both Louise and with help from Conan, they were able to somehow mold their powers together to create a special kind of Genjutsu. One that was known as the Hell Viewing Technique. It didn't help matters that King Joseph was one to talk, one to always let his lips betray him. Every evil that the king ever spoke in Nagato's presence, Nagato reflected it back to him in his mind, reflecting it in the Genjutsu. What only seemed to be but for a few minutes were nothing but hours upon hours of torture for the king. And slowly but surely the king was almost driven to the point of insanity. He could feel his mind beginning to break. It wasn't enough to torture him physically. It was a subtle kind of torture, one that took multiple varieties and forms, that truly played on every fear that man holds deep down inside. To take the predator and to make him the prey, to experience hell on earth. However, before his mind could be left to shatter, he would be released, as Tabitha was now standing before him. Uncle, for all of the evil that you have committed, for what you did to my father, for what you did to Mother, you deserve nothing but to spend eternity in that hell. But that hell is just a fraction of what my mother experiences every day. Every day of her life is because of you that she lost her sanity. When I try to hold her, she doesn't even recognize my voice. She doesn't even see me as her daughter. You took that away from me. And why? For a throne? I didn't want it. You could have had it, all of it, but it wasn't enough for you. It's never been enough for you. Everyone always has to suffer, all so that you can feel high and mighty. Well, I've had it. Tabata, You will relinquish the throne, and the country of Gallia will never experience your rule ever again. I'm not going to kill you. I won't stoop down to become the monster that you are. But you will be banished, and I never want to see you ever again. However, before your banishment, there is one thing that you are going to do. What? You're going to transfer the power. The power? Your power of void magic. It's said that it can be transferred. In order to save this world, it's a power, unfortunately, that will be needed. However, we both know you have no intentions on helping them. Then you're going to simply transfer the power. But transfer it to who? You'll transfer it to Naruto. What? Fine. Unhand me and I'll do it. The king would be freed from the illusions once more, as Naruto held the blade continuously to Sheffield's throat. The king knew that he had no choice. No one was coming to rescue him. His plans of domination had been undone. Now, seeing as though he truly only had one thing left that he cared for, he agreed to the terms. All the while, his servant Sheffield screamed at him. She begged for the king not to do this, that if anyone should lose anything, it should be her. If he gave the order, she would gladly give her life. However, the king ignored her pleas. As he commenced the ritual, there would be a gateway of magic. All that they had to do was cross it together. If they did so, then the power would be transferred to Naruto. As the two crossed through the magical void, stepping through it before stepping out on the other side, the mark that Sheffield had of the void familiar would leave her as it transferred over to Naruto. As Naruto now had a second marking, just like the one that he had on his wrist that was given to him when he made the contract with Louise. Now the marking of the one that Sheffield possessed was now on the forehead of Naruto. Naruto could feel that there was something a bit strange about him. Durf would tell him that he would explain later. But now she was normal. She had no control of any special void magic. She was essentially normal, except for the regular magics that she possessed. Sheffield made her way over to Joseph, as she asked him why. Why was he so willing to give up? Why was he so willing to let it all go, despite how far they had come? He simply looked at her. Despite all the torture, everything that I saw, honestly, it didn't affect me. I knew I deserved it. I relished it. I actually enjoyed it a great deal. But when I saw you being tortured in my mind, it felt all too real. I guess you could say they found my breaking point. Truth be told, if they really wanted to get to me, it would be through you. Master, I'm not your master anymore. I gave up my ability to use void magic. With the power of transfer, I've given it over to Naruto. He now has the rune in his possession. You and I are but two ordinary individuals. Exiles. Nothing else would be said, as a silence fell over them. King Joseph, with no choice, would announce his resignation as king. He took his leave, Tabitha honoring her request. She would not harm or kill her uncle. However, he was banished from the country of Gallia, both he and Sheffield. Also, those of whom that served under him were also freed, among them being an elf himself. Of course, he was surprised that his rescuers would be human. He wondered if maybe humans and elves could actually get along, although that was wishful thinking. But if what happened was true, then the elves of his country, there was a lot that needed to be discussed. In the meantime, the Deva path would be destroyed, as there was no longer a use for it. And now finally, the only thing that was left to do was to restore Nagato. His body had been crippled long ago in a battle in the Rain Village, and undoing the damage that had been done would take a lot of work. However, there were skilled healers in this land, and their magic was able to work wonders. But it was actually the healing magic that Tiffania was able to use that would prove to be most vital. It was slow, but as the aura began to envelop him, his red hair began to shine once again, his skin returning back to a youthful vigor, as Nagato could feel himself regaining his battling prime. He now found himself being at full capacity. Nagato Uzumaki was now back and ready for action. As he turned to Naruto, the only thing he could do was smile. I don't know how to. It's nothing, really. So, you're actually an Uzumaki, huh? Yes. You could say that you and I are like family. Wow. First my dad and now you. I didn't really think I'd get to meet anyone in my family. Well, we're probably distant cousins, but even still. Yes, we share the same Uzumaki lineage. So, what are you going to do now? I know that you can reverse summon yourself back to our world. Yes, and unfortunately, until you figure out another way, you're still trapped here, aren't you? Yeah, but it's not too bad. There's actually something I need to do. Is it about the Nine Tails? Yeah, my father said there was a way that I might be able to master it. Something here called the Mirror of Truth. I'm going to give it another try. I don't know what I'm going to experience or what's going to happen. Nagato placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder. No matter what happens, I have full confidence. I know you'll be able to succeed. Thank you. And about, well, what you're going to do when you get back. I'm going to keep my promise, Naruto. I am going to finish what I started. The Akatsuki is my fault. It's my burden to bear. And as such, I am the one who will deal with it. The Masked Man. The Masked Man? Father said something about him. He was the one that attacked the village the night of my birth. I see. And he is the one that came to me under the name of Madara Uchiha. If it really is Madara, Do you think you can beat him on your own? Nagato smiled, and Konan as well. I'm confident that we can beat him. Don't worry. When you come back home, things are going to be for the better. This I promise. Naruto and Nagato would shake hands. As the two now were going their separate ways, Nagato and Konan would focus before weaving the hand signs and using the reverse summoning jutsu. And with that, the two would disappear in a poof of smoke, traveling as they arrived back into the world of Naruto. However, now Naruto, while still stuck here, had a new power that he had to focus on. The second ruin that was now engraved on his forehead, as well as learning to tame the power of the nine-tailed fox. If he could figure out a way to master this power, then maybe it could be the key to getting back home. In the meantime, Nagato donned an all-black cloak, along with Konan, devoid of red clouds. They bore headbands of the hidden rain, new ones with no slashes. With his eyes now focused, both he and Konan would leave the hideout for the hidden rain village. However, as they did so, as the rain started to fall over them, it didn't take them long to find who they were looking for. However, there was an added development. Nagato, you've somehow gained back your body. Madara Uchiha. What's the meaning of this, Nagato? I thought that you were in the hidden leaf, but then word had come in from Zetsu that you had somehow vanished, and now you return back in your one true body? What is the meaning of this? I met the Nine Tails. I've been through much in my time away, and my eyes have been opened. If there is truly going to be peace in this world, then it can only exist with your death. Are you sure about that? We are, Konan would say, both Nagato and Konan looking determined. However, from out of nowhere, Konan's left arm would be engulfed in black flame. She would begin to yell frantically as the arm would fall off as it was made out of paper. As she backed away with Nagato, the two of them standing on guard. From out of the shadows would appear someone else in a Akatsuki robe, a group. Leading them was a boy with dark black hair, and his eyes emblazed with the Sharingan. You all can stand by. Only me and Sasuke will be necessary. Oh, while you've been gone, we had a new addition to the team. Meet Sasuke Uchiha. Uchiha. Oh, you didn't think I was going to fight alone. Now, Nagato, show me your resolve. This concludes What If Naruto Was Louise's Familiar? Naruto, The Tale of Two Sages, Part 10. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcasting that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned for later on this evening as there will be a episode 2 review of Chainsaw Man. And also stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue My Hero Academia: The Dark Knight Returns. What if Deku was Batman? Part 10. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.